I have one question.
Go ahead. Sure.
Since there are a lot of guitar player here, so I want just to ask you one thing. Do you have some, it's just a simple question, some warm-up routines, you suggest, or some, I'm speaking, I think, in terms of visualization. So, do you suggest something in particular to learn, to train your visualization?
To train improvisation.
Visualization.
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 That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think when I was talking before about these fifth string root based arpeggio shapes, which anybody who has the book, you'll see that that is the visual that I have. If somebody talks about a key, so if I hear someone says C Dorian, I am immediately seeing the chord scale of like B flat major in the form of arpeggios. So I already know that like A minor 7 flat 5 is something that I have access to if I want to highlight the 13. I already know that like that these notes are there for me, right? Or if I want to highlight the 9. So I know where those notes are located, and it's based on shapes that I see with these arpeggios. So, I mean, I think everybody has their own way of doing it. That's the way that has been the most successful for me and the easiest for me when it comes to navigating the fretboard. I don't really see scales. I mean, I see scales, but the scales, I'm reminded of the scales with the arpeggios, right? So in other words,
visualize the intervals.
I visualize the intervals, yeah. That's more what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, yeah. It's a little bit hard to explain, but it's easy to understand, I think. I mean, trying to think if there's an easy way to, but yeah, it's hard to explain, It's interesting, because if I go like this, if I went, so that, immediately we hear this kind of, right? But yet, I also know that in the context of something like, like a C. So that can sound very Lydian.
Yeah.
If the ear, it's funny, I do this with my students a lot where especially newer students or guys who are more or less like intermediate. And I'll say, what does this sound like? Does that sound major or minor? And they'll say, that sounds very major, obviously. And I'll say, yeah, okay. Now, I want you to watch my fingers. Right after we clear the ear palate, so I'm going to go. Okay, now watch my fingers again, and I do this, and they go, okay, and tell me if it sounds major or minor. And then they're like looking at me like, how's that possible? The only thing that has changed is our ear's belief in which of those notes is the tonic. Nothing's changed other than the ear's perception of the tonic. So the shape of the scale changes in the mind, but it doesn't. All the notes are exactly the same, right? So it's a very weird. I still find it to be fascinating that something can sound so incredibly different just by the way you treat it.
Context.
Yeah, just the context, right? I still find that to be really amazing.
So, as an interview of Victor Wooten, he was saying that, and it was very, very brilliant. The way it just, just the way you play the things in the context.
Yes.
It changes the way people feel it.
People hear it and feel it. Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's very, very brilliant.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. I think the other thing, for me, when it came to getting into slightly more advanced concepts of music, was when I was younger, whenever there's a 5 chord, if I had like B minor, and then I get like some kind of 5, but not even if it's just normal dominant, and you want to play a little bit altered over that, the only thing my ear could ever hear was sort of the Ingve thing. But when I would hear jazz players do stuff, and then suddenly I'm hearing, like, whoa, like that was where my ear, like I couldn't hear those notes. I mean, I love hearing them, but I couldn't find them in my own mind. I can only identify them by hearing them. So that's an example of where harmony knowledge can really expand your ear. Because now I can hear an altered scale. I can hear what it sounds like ahead of time and know what that is. But it's an interesting concept.